Arena Singleton in Standard. It is one of our favorite formats, and until we get Brawl in Arena, it is the closest that we are going to get to being able to play Commander, which is our favorite format, online. When we've had the Singleton events on Arena, I've played it a lot, and today I want to talk to you about my favorite cards in blue, the cards that I would pick and the strategies that I choose to use with that color. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. I am Joel. Today we are going to talk about blue cards, our favorite blue cards in Arena Singleton. First, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, hit that subscribe button down there and tell a friend about our channel. It really helps us grow. We'd appreciate it immensely. Let's talk about blue in Singleton. Now, I want to give the same caveat to this video that I'm going to give to all of our monocolor Singleton videos. All of these cards for blue were chosen in a vacuum. I've designed this so that you either have a full mono blue deck that you can just copy and paste, the deck list is in the description below, into Arena and play for Singleton, or you can use this as a list of blue cards that I think are very powerful in the format. As such, there are no gold cards, and I really didn't pick any of these cards to specifically synergize with any specific strategy or play a certain line. This is more of a good stuff stack of cards that I think could either, like I said, play as one full mono blue deck or be an inspiration list for you to pick blue cards from. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. As you see up here, I've got my Singleton lists for each individual color. Today we're covering blue. Check out the other ones if you want to see the other colors. Down here, I've got the deck. We have got 24 lands. It is a blue deck after all, and we're not going super rushy. As you can see, we do have an X spell, and we do have lots of 3 and 4 spells. Like with any blue deck, the whole game plan of this one is mostly tempo, controlling the board, taking your opponent off curve, and getting a big threat to resolve and then protecting it. Over here in our 1-drop slot, we've got Pteramander, we've got Siren Stormtamer, we've got Opt. We don't have a ton at the 1-drop slot, and all of this stuff has versatility. This is either good on turn 1, or if you can adapt it, it's a 5/5 flyer, so it's good late game as well. Siren Stormtamer is going to counter any ability that targets us or a creature we control, so it's got built-in kind of helpfulness and utility. And of course, we've got Opt. Going into our 2 costs, we've got Departed Deckhand. I like Deckhand because it can make a big threat that we've already got on the board absolutely unblockable, or it's a good 2-drop tempo play as well. Faerie Duelist is a great flashing creature. Kite Corsair, this one could possibly be cut. I've been playing around. You can see over in the 6-drop slot, I only have Dream Eater and Riddlemaster Sphinx currently. I don't have Nezahal. Now, Nezahal is going to be a great pick for a mono blue deck and for blue decks in general as a finisher final threat. So Kite Corsair could be cut. So we'll put Nezahal in here over the Kite Corsair, and I think that actually is a better play overall. Under that, we've got Tetsuko. We've also got a lot of creatures with power or toughness 1 or less that can't be blocked. Now, Tetsuko's a card that I would want to build around even more. I think it's got value, and I wanted to go ahead and put it on this list so that it was brought to everybody's attention. But it is a card that could be very cool in some kind of blue tempo aggro deck. Moving on from Tetsuko, we've got Merfolk Trickster, great, fantastic trick. You've seen it in Standard, you know what it does. Surge Mare, another one. It's going to make the game go longer. It can attack, it can fix your hand. It can't be blocked by green creatures if you happen to run into any of those. It's got a lot of versatility, and you'll see a lot of my picks for Singleton are cards that have versatility and have different modes and different things that they can do. Blink of an Eye is card advantage plus a bounce spell. Essence counter a target creature. Negate, counter a non-creature. Quench, counter anything as long as they don't have 2 more mana untapped. Search for Azcanta is fantastic. If Search for Azcanta resolves and then flips, this should be GG in a correctly built deck. You'll be able to dig down 7 cards, get that non-creature, non-land that you need, and just keep your hand full of protection for what will eventually be your Dream Eater, your Riddlemaster, or your Nezahal to finish the game out. Essence Capture, counter a creature, put a counter on your thing. Exclusion Maze, very tempo play. 3 mana for a 2/2 is fine, but it does return a creature to an opponent's hand so that you can either counter it when they recast it, or it just gets it out of the way so that you can attack through. Sailor of Means is going to give you more mana. Now, Sailor of Means, again, is one that could be cut in a mono blue deck. I like it because it's a 1/4 blocker, and you've also got the treasure token that comes in and can fix your mana. Now, granted, that's better in a multicolored deck, so this might be one that uses more inspiration for a 3-4 color deck, and in a mono blue deck, you could take this out for a bigger threat. Slippery Scoundrel can't be blocked in hexproof if you've got Ascension, and in Singleton, Ascend is not super difficult to achieve. Tempest Djinn is especially good for a mono blue deck. We've got 23 islands in this deck, and so this guy's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, especially if you can protect him. Arrester's Admonition. This is another one that's got some versatility. At cantrips, you can tempo their creature back to their hand, you get to replace the Arrester's Admonition, and in a pinch it's got instant, and so without the cantrip part of it, you can just use it if necessary. Divination, draw 2 cards, cancel, straight up remove. Secrets, again, draw 2 or draw 3 if you can ascend. Sinister Sabotage is a counterspell, Wizards is a counterspell. You can start to see that we've got a counterspell thing going with the mono blue build of this. We're really going to want to get our threat down, clear the way for it, whether it's in the air, clear the skies, or on the ground, make it unblockable somehow, clear their blockers, and you want to protect it. Murmuring Mystic is going to give us a 1/1 flyer every time we cast a non-creature. Yeah, that's correct. Instant or sorcery, we're going to get a 1/1 flyer. Tempest Caller is a huge tempo play. This is one where you can play it, swing for lethal, and it kind of acts like a finisher. Chemister's Insight, instant speed draw. Sift, more correction of your hand. Sleep, this is another essentially board wipe in blue that's going to allow us to swing through if we can tap all their things down. Mass Manipulation, this is one where we can take away their Teferi if you want. You can take away their big threat as long as it doesn't have hexproof. For 6 mana you can take 1, and for 8 mana you can take 2. So this is especially good in a deck that runs things like Sailor of Means and things like Spell Swindle that we'll get to. So because you're going to have extra mana and you'll be able to steal their things that are huge threats that you can't answer. Chillbringer's a little tempo, flying 3/3, you know, tap down something and Frost links it up so it can't move. Patient Rebuilding, this is one of my favorite cards for blue. I'm a big fan of this one because at the beginning of their upkeep, they're gonna mill, your opponent's gonna mill cards into their graveyard, but you're gonna get to draw a card for each land card that goes that way. So either you're getting rid of spells and creatures in their deck that you don't have to ever even deal with, or you're getting a land off of their deck and you get to draw a card for that. I'm a big fan of Patient Rebuilding, especially for decks that have a heavy counter package and will go long. After that, speaking of counter packages, Spell Swindle is going to give you those treasure tokens I was talking about and counter one of their big spells at turn 5 or later. After that, we've got a flash flying 4/3 that gets to surveil when it enters the battlefield and return a creature. There are so many things that Dream Eater does when it comes into play. We have to run it. It's just so versatile. Riddlemaster Sphinx is another tempo. You play the creature, it returns 1 to their hand, you can swing through with your team, or they're going to have to replay their creature and they lose a whole turn. And then Nezahal, we added it earlier. This is a big finisher, can't be countered, no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent, casts a non-creature, draw a card, and all you got to do is discard 3 to exile and return it, so it gets around any targeted removal. This is a deck, I didn't in the mono red deck run any of these special lands from Dominaria, but in blue I like this one. 5 mana to sack and get rid of a land that you don't need anymore to draw 2 cards has a lot of value late in the game. It is the only non-basic island that we run in this deck, and so the chances that you're going to have to play it on turn 1 in a situation where you really don't want to, because we don't really have a lot of 1-drops and this is as good a turn 1 as any, you're always going to like seeing this card. I'm a real big fan of Memorial to Genius. That's going to do it for our mono blue deck. I immensely appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend about our channel. Let us know what you run in your mono blue Singleton list or in any of your Singleton lists. I'd love to, over the next week while we have this April event going, and then in the future, talk to you about your lists, and maybe we'll have one on the channel. Appreciate it, everybody. I'm tapped out. We'll catch you next time.